Look, the truth is, since Labour left office in 2010, government debt has increased significantly and now hovers at around 100% of GDP. And that will be a constraint on any government, including a Labour one. And I've set out a tough set of fiscal rules that we would pay for day-to-day spending through tax receipts, that we would get debt down as a share of GDP, and then only subject to that, make investments, strategic investments in the things that are needed to boost our growth and productivity. And we've got to get that growth, because the route to better public services, the route to higher living standards is through growth and prosperity. And that's why it's so important to be here in Davos and talk to investors about the opportunities in Britain, whether that's in life sciences, in low carbon industries, creative industries, professional services, all areas of huge strength in the UK. But today we are missing out on investment to our overseas allies and competitors.
But what's your response to the autumn statement? And I thought, as combative as your response was, actually you did agree with a lot of things that Jeremy Hunt had done, including making permanent a lot of tax breaks to businesses who are investing in capex in their companies as well. There's not a lot of ground between you and Conservative policy at the moment, is there?
Well, look, they've had 14 years, and I think the question that people are going to be asking at the next election is, after 14 years, are me and my family better off? Are our schools, our hospitals, our police, are they working better than when the Conservatives came to office 14 years ago? I mean, frankly, is anything in Britain working better today than when they came into office? Growth has stagnated. Average growth of just 1.5% a year compared to 2% a year on average under the last Labour government, and that is the difference. And our plans worked up alongside business to grow the economy, to unlock that investment, are absolutely crucial to turning around our prosperity as a nation.
Rachel, there's an accusation that you will do what every Chancellor does, say, I've had a look at the books, if indeed you are to be the next Chancellor of the Exchequer, you've had a look at the books and they're much worse than you thought, and actually I'm going to have to raise taxes. How do you respond to that?
Well, I know that the inheritance is going to be tough, but if the route to better public services and higher living standards was through higher taxes, we'd have them by now, because the tax burden is at a 70-year high and is indeed forecast to rise in each year of this Parliament. The route to prosperity and better public services comes through economic growth, and that is why Keir Starmer and myself are absolutely focused on that. Reforming the planning system so we can build 1.5 million homes in the first term of a Labour government. Reforming the planning system as well so we can invest in digital, in low carbon industries, because that is the route to good jobs that pay wages that you can support a family on, and to be able to invest in our schools and our hospitals, which are on their knees.
Rachel, did that Kwarteng Trust debacle in late 2022, did it do Labour a favour? Did it show you that actually the risks of mucking around with unfunded spending and tax cuts as well, actually the markets are not going to take it?
Well, I've said ever since I became Shadow Chancellor that I won't make a single uncosted, unfunded commitment, and I think people had already heard that loud and clear, but I think perhaps now there's a greater understanding of why that is absolutely essential, because the Truss government promised tax cuts, promised people a sugar rush plan for growth, and actually the only thing that happened was that pensions were put in peril and mortgage rates increased. I will never play fast and loose with the public finances, because when you do so, you play fast and loose with family finances, and those are risks that I would never take.